And joining us now is Democratic Senator Michael Bennet of Colorado, who serves on the Intelligence Committee and is just back from Ukraine, where he and a delegation of his colleagues met with President Zelensky. Senator, what did the president tell you? I know I was covering him in Munich last weekend before this past weekend, and he was desperate for the help. He said they're out of ammo, they need air defenses, and they still haven't gotten the F-16s that they'd been promised months and months ago.
Andrea, you're exactly right. He was very clear. He said that with your support, we can win. Without your support, we're going to lose. And a big part of it was delineating the things that he's going to require on the battlefield to make sure that the brave Ukrainian troops are going to continue to have the successes that they've had.
What about the long-range missiles? The U.S. was not agreeing to it. Now they've just agreed to it, but they're not even in the pipeline.
Yeah. He wants them, and he needs them. And he has earned this. You know, the Ukrainian people have exceeded any reasonable expectation or even unreasonable expectations of what they could have achieved. They've driven Putin off half the land he took. They've won battle after battle after battle. They've thrown, as you know well, they've thrown Putin out of the Black Sea without even having a navy of their own. And they're fighting not just for Ukraine, they're fighting for democracy, they're fighting for the West. And we can't even keep the government open here. You know, I wonder if Winston Churchill were treating this the way that we're treating it on the lead up to World War II, how well he would be remembered by history. You know, we have an amazing moment right now to show what the outer edge of our political insanity is, and that's riding to the rescue among a group of people who have been willing to fight and die for the sake of democracy. And there were 22 Republicans. It's very important for people to know this. 22 Republicans in the United States Senate who cast that vote 2 weeks ago to send Ukraine this aid, who overcame the objections of Donald Trump and said, we're going to do the right thing for our national security, we're going to do the right thing for democracy, we're going to do the right thing for our children's future and our grandchildren's future. And the idea that the House is still spinning its wheels on this government shutdown, no one in America could describe for you what purpose is being served by their threat of this government shutdown. But I can tell you, having seen the Ukrainian people literally scraping off a parking lot so that they could put graves there for the bodies of people who have died on the front. This was in Lviv when we were there. They're wondering what's going on here. And by the way, Putin is giving us a complete FU by killing Navalny, the leading opposition leader in Russia, imagining that we're not somehow going to care about that, or that we're not going to respond to that, or we're so divided in our politics that even though he can't win the battle in Ukraine, and I don't believe he can, that he can win the battle here of our divided and dysfunctional politics in America. Those 22 Republicans in the Senate showed him that's not true. They had a vote that restored our democracy in a sense. And I hope the House leadership follows that example.
Well, while House speakers have traditionally gone, for years and years, have gone to the Munich Security Conference where Zelensky was making that appeal, this speaker, Mike Johnson, was in Mar-a-Lago and is clearly listening to Donald Trump.
And while you were at the Munich conference, and while we had a bunch of military people and politicians, Putin was executing Navalny. While we were in Munich, he was executing Navalny because he was saying, what you care about doesn't matter to me. I can act with impunity. And this is not about, being tough. It's not about tit for tat. It's about recognizing that Putin believes that democracy is on the line here, and he's winning. Xi Jinping recognizes democracy is on the line here, and they are winning. Like it or not, this is literally the one place in the world that can show them that they're wrong, and Zelensky has earned it. The sacrifice that the American people, or that the Ukrainian people have suffered in this war on their behalf, yes, on our behalf as well, is more than anybody could have asked of them, and they have fought magnificently. And all we have to do is send them $60 billion more, and they can begin to unleash the kind of weapons that you're talking about. I don't know what the final outcome is going to be here, but I know that they deserve our support, and I know our own national security interest, most important, would be served by our supporting them and would be deeply undermined by us turning the other way. And that's what Putin is expecting. We have to show him he's wrong.